So as Israel was taking the promised land, they encountered a lot of enemies and they had to fight many a battle. But there was one group with whom they didn't have to fight because they got tricked. And this is in the book of Joshua, chapter 9. And welcome this morning. And this is the story of the Gibeonites, from the city of Gibeon. And they were like just amazing salesmen. They tricked the leadership of the Israelites by basically selling themselves as faraway people, not their enemies. And they are saying to them, look, we are from a distant land. We heard of you. We heard of the greatness of your God. They praise them up as one does when they want to sell something. You know, you're so smart. You know, but this is the right choice. Yada yada. And then they give proof. They show their old moldy bread and worn down clothes, and they say, when we left, this was all fresh and from home, and our clothes were new, and now they're old because we came such a great distance. We basically traveled from Scandinavia or something, and yet we speak your language, and whatever, doesn't matter. The point is, they come and they trick them and they sell themselves as not an enemy, but they were in fact an enemy. But they knew that they were not strong enough to withstand the Israelites. They realized that they had no chance, so they basically just sneak in, and that's what they did. And so they are an interesting picture for us, because in our lives so often this is the tactic of the enemy. This is how he does it. He brings something into our lives, and it appears to be a small thing, a weak thing, something that is not dangerous to us, because that's what Joshua and the leadership of Israel thought, that these people are distant from us, they are not dangerous for us, they are not our enemies, so we'll just make a covenant with them. And this is how the enemy brings in a sin. This is a way of temptation. He brings in something small, and like a lie always starts as something small, and you don't realize that this is a big deal until it's too late. And when the enemy brings a temptation, it gives you the shiny side and says, this is all beautiful, but the other side of that temptation is death, according to the book of James. So the point is that when the enemy comes to us and he offers us something, we don't notice, we don't realize, we think it's not an enemy, we think it's a friend, we think it's a neutral thing, but this is actually a lie. And how could the Israelites have known? And well, the answer is they should have inquired of the Lord. They should have asked God for counsel. And this is such an important point for us, because like, how do we live our lives? And of course, 2 Corinthians 5:7 says, we walk by faith, not by sight. All right. So, we could say, oh, that's easy to say, Paul, but actually he's talking about death right there. Previous verse, he's talking about the issue of death, and he's saying, we're trusting the Lord even in death, because we do not live by sight, but we walk by faith. And so it's not just an easy, light statement. He's saying even about death. So, you lose someone dies who you love. You lose a child, a parent, a brother, a sister. And then we walk by faith, not by sight. We trust God for what he said about life and death. So that's a huge deal. So how about the little things, when the enemy brings in a temptation and God says, that's a lie. And the enemy says, oh, that little negativity, that's not really your enemy. That little, it's just a little bit of cheating. It's not really a big problem. It's not a strong thing in your life. It's like a distant thing, just like the Gibeonites. They live so far away from you. They are not dangerous to you. And then later it turns out they live next door. Later it turns out that thing is a huge enemy in your life. So I'm just gonna say that and leave you to consider it, meditate. Maybe we'll get back to it tomorrow. God bless your day.